There's an oft-quoted saying that says, "As goes the seminary, so goes the church." And less frequently quoted, it says, "As goes the church, so goes society." Well, if that's true, it would mean that seminaries need to be preparing the people that they train for the realities of what is happening out there. It would also mean that in the case of children in South Africa, South African seminaries should be preparing pastors and Christian leaders for the realities of what children are facing out there. And unfortunately, the statistics do not seem to prove that in the case of South Africa. For example, in the past few months, the media in South Africa have reported terrible atrocities taking place against our children. Just yesterday, I read of 2 toddlers, one 3 years old and one 2 years old, who'd been found brutally murdered in a toilet in a settlement just outside of Johannesburg. In the past few months, we've read of murders. We've read of a 4-month-old baby being raped. We've read of a very high percentage of our children going into prostitution, often in order just to make ends meet for the family. The figures are alarming. In fact, we are told that there are 38,000 prostitutes who are underage in South Africa. 2 reports in the last 3 years have revealed further alarming statistics. The first, which was entitled "The Spiritual State of the World's Children," and the second, "The State of the Family in South Africa," confirmed that only 1/3 of children in South Africa live with both parents. That would mean that 35% of the children do not have either a mother or a father. And we're told that about 4 million of our children are orphans, either paternal orphans, in which case it's about 2.5 million, maternal orphans about 650,000. And we're told that about 850,000 are as a result of AIDS. Now, of those, about 100,000 have neither mother nor father nor any other person to look after them. And so they live in what we term as child-headed households. Many of these children, probably more than 1.4 million, are orphans as a result of AIDS. And that means that their grandmothers, in most cases, attempt to look after them because both parents have died as a result of AIDS. So we have a society that is plagued by evils that are attacking our children in many different ways. That means that seminaries should be training their pastors and their Christian leaders to be able to cope once they graduate from seminary with these realities. So what I did was I surveyed the 21 accredited seminaries in South Africa by going onto their websites and having a careful look at the curricula that they offer. And I was shocked to discover that 12 of them make absolutely no reference to children's ministry in their curricula whatsoever. Only 9 do something, and in many cases what they do is very little in comparison to the statistics that I quoted earlier. So one has to conclude that Christian leaders coming out of South African seminaries are very ill-equipped, ill-prepared to be able to cope with the realities of what our children are facing on a daily basis. Now, I suppose one could project that into the rest of the world as well, because I've had contact with many seminaries around the world, and I think the situation there is very similar. So, despite the fact that they are facing these realities, are not getting the support from Christian leaders and pastors in the church that they need to be able to cope. And it's really, really important. It's time for the seminaries around the world to give serious attention to the curricula that they offer. They need to recurriculate, as it were, so that when their leaders come out of these situations, they're able to deal with the realities that our children are facing. It's time for seminaries to rethink.